My brother just came in and got me some fruit. So this is, ooh, so bright though. This is Korean pear, and this is a persimmon. I got a job! Talking about my job, I got hired very spontaneously. I just got it through connections, in a way where I made that connection myself. I didn't have anyone recommend me to anyone else. It was just that person was like, they reached out to me on LinkedIn and asked me if I'm interested in working with them. And at first I was kind of like, what? So before I started UXA, I've been trying to up my network game a month before UXA. I knew that there were other areas to learn UX from, so I got a lot of books. Just to start these books, I added a lot of podcasts to my phone. So the UI Breakfast, The Honest Designer, Design Matters with Debbie Millman, Jake and Jonathan, Design Life, Design Better Podcast, UX Cake. I'll just name those. I also looked into completely immersing my LinkedIn dashboard with people from UX, whether they're researchers, whether they're designers, developers, like you name it. I reached out to a lot of people, requested to connect just so that I can see what they're seeing. I could also read their posts and get an insight of how they're thinking, and just I wanted to completely immerse myself into that, because if I want to become that, I need to be exposed to the field as much as possible. At least that's what I thought. So I did that, and I started to look for YouTube videos that would help me. And I think I've been mentioning this before, but YouTube just kind of came to me at the end though, because I didn't really find anyone to connect with. The one person that I felt like I connected with was Mike Locke. I've talked about him a number of times, I feel like. Or maybe I'm just getting that confused when I talk to like other people and versus here. So Mike Locke, everyone. He has his own YouTube channel, and he provides some really valuable insight. He also does live Q&As, where you can ask him questions directly. He's been in the UX field for like 10 plus years. Also, another really good place to look for connections is on Instagram. A lot of good designers are on Instagram, so you can hit them up on IG and like talk to them. They're just starting their Instagram platforms too, so they're more than willing, I feel like, to connect with you. It's easier for them to respond back to you because they don't have like 100K followers. So one person who is kind of like a mentor to me, I feel like he fills in this gap where I lack this interpersonal connection with my actual DesignLab mentor. My DesignLab mentor, he's very good with like teaching me, but he is like a professor, you know, like you don't want to step on his toes too much. You just want to be there and out. So actual mentorship aspect, I guess, is not there. It's more just like professor and student. But I think that's why whenever my actual like DesignLab mentor asks me if I have any questions and I tell him no and he gets kind of surprised, I think it's because whatever questions I have, I ask these other mentors and I use them as other I think I consider like people I connect with like other mentors, and I've built a relationship with them where I can just literally ask them any question I'm curious about. And that one person who is a very, very genuine guy, his name is Dan, and his handle on Instagram is UX Career Secrets. He is really great. He told me about this like fear setting challenge where you list all your fears and you list like how you can overcome them, or like the actual reasons why you are hesitant to take that step forward. And yeah, like writing everything down and really getting in deep of your fears. He told me about it, and I did that challenge a few hours before my interview with the design agency. And I think that opened my mind to be more willing to accept this position, because at the same time I was like, I'm not even done with DesignLab, dude. Like, but yeah, so Dan helped me, so thank you, Dan. I guess I have a lot of networking dudes. I'm not done yet. Another one is meetup.com. Meetup.com, you can search within your local area. So I was looking around my local area. I live in the suburbs, so I'm like kind of far away from like the actual city, but I noticed that nowadays everything is online. It's like the best time for introverts to go to meetups, because you don't actually have to like get in a car, drive somewhere, and be in this awkward situation where you're just standing alone in a room, you don't know anyone. You know what I mean, right? So you're just basically sitting in your room, you have a computer, you turn it on, and they give you usually a Zoom link. Get on the Zoom link, and the rest is history. You get to enjoy, meet new people. And then in that chat, in the Zoom link chat, people always like share their LinkedIn page, and they're like, oh, I want to connect with you. And then you're like, okay. And actually the meetup.com is how I found my design agency that I got hired in. It's like crazy how this happened. That's how I got to know the design agency I currently work at, and then that's how they got to know me, or the owner got to know me. How I came into this, it's kind of wild. Yes, I got the job without finishing my portfolio. I actually found this company through a meetup on meetup.com. They were talking about XR, VR, AR stuff, and I wanted to do something like that. Like, I want to get into that field. It just sounds so cool. So yeah. That I even got to do a one-on-one with the founder. I was like taking notes because I wanted to know, and then the talk also shared about some books, which was really cool. So yeah, I took away from it thinking like, wow, yeah, like this might be a cool field to get into. I decided to come back to one of her meetings when I was available on that day. It was fun. I would have never expected for that CEO to have contacted me, and she was just like, hey, you know, like, would you be interested to work with me? And I'm like, what? I'm not qualified. But yeah, she was just like, yeah, let's meet up and have a chat. And so we scheduled a meeting, and that was kind of like a low-key interview, but it was the most chill interview I've ever had. She was just like, yeah, so like this is what I'm looking for, and these are the projects that I'm thinking of, and I just need help with this and this and this. And I told her, since I'm still finishing the boot camp, I really want to finish my portfolio, because you never know. Like, I heard finishing your portfolio is like one of the most difficult things as a designer. So I really want to get that out of the way. Just testing the waters here, so it's nothing crazy. No. It's more of just like, I got my step in the door and it's paid. I feel super blessed, to be honest, because it really lied into the field I'm interested in. Like, I told myself, if I want to do UX UI, I want my niche to be AR, VR, XR, like that kind of stuff. Like, that just sounds so cool. And then the first gig I got related to the UX field is in AR, VR, XR. I'll learn a lot as I'm finishing UXA. She asked me, do you have a portfolio? And I was like, yeah, like, I mean, I just started it, so it's not done. And I'm like, do you want to see it? And she's like, yeah, let's see it. And I'm like, oh God, okay, because it's exactly, I didn't go back to it, guys. Like, if you saw my Webflow video, it's exactly like that. Like, I didn't go back to rework on it. So I was feeling very nervous about it. I was like, ooh, like, okay. And then she like she like maybe looked at it for like 5 seconds and was like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, okay. So I'm very thankful. She has a lot of faith in me and she sees a lot of potential in me. She also asked me, hey, do you know how to do Adobe, everything? And I'm like, I played with it, but I'm not confident about it. And she's like, okay, yeah, like you could learn that as you go. Like, or she's like, yeah, I could teach you. And I'm like, what? Okay. So I feel like this is actually a really good place for me right now, since I still haven't finished the bootcamp yet. I have a tendency to finish the things I've started, so I really want to finish my portfolio and also graduate properly with the bootcamp. Yeah, I'm excited. I had my first meeting with the design team today. Unfortunately, I can't exactly share what kind of work I'm doing for the agency because I have a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below. I usually try to answer every question the best to my abilities. Okay, so I hope you also have a good week. So yeah, hang in there, guys. Like, if you're struggling, do something small. Like, I don't know, go for a walk. I've been going on walks every morning if you follow me on Instagram. And then I use that time to listen to podcasts, listen to books and stuff. So you can try that. I'll see you next time. Bye.